Hey guys, how's it going? Underground Geek here. So here it is, issue number 40, Batman, and it's $2.99. And it kills me how this is $2.99, but Marvel wants to put some of their books at $4.99. But this is issue number 40. This is the Joelle Jones cover, and then you've also got the Oliver Copiel cover, which is a variant cover. Now, to me, this seems like a variant cover. I'm kind of surprised that they did this as a regular cover, because you would think most of the time that her covers would be variants, but since she's doing the interior arts, it dawned on me that it makes a lot of sense for her to do the cover too, since she can obviously do such a good job. I mean, she got the good hair. So, moving on into this book, we get started on page 1 with Lucha Underground. What? Underground? Triggered. And it's on El Rey channel. It's a funny little advertisement. Oh my goodness. Look at his hand gesture. That's problematic. So, we get started here, and it's Super Friends Part 4. And this is pretty much wrapping up the storyline of what's been happening. Tom King did the script, Joelle Jones did interior, Jordi Belair did the color, and Clayton Coles did the letters. And so what's been happening is the Gentleman, which holds off all the demons from coming to Earth, has swapped spots with Batman and Wonder Woman and Batman are fighting in his place while he gets to spend time on Earth. And Catwoman has been walking him around and helping him along his way. But now she has figured out that he tricked them, because every second here is like a year there. So they've actually been gone on their time for 10 years, but only hours here. So she's thinking immediately, he's had to spend 10 years in this land alone with Wonder Woman. And so she says, did they know? And he says, no. And then we get this scene here. And he says, Diana. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. And so the whole time that they're talking, Catwoman and the Gentleman are also talking. And she says, bring them back now. And he says, and then she says, it's been years. Every second that passes is a day or more. So until you bring them back, whatever else you have to say, I don't care. And then, so basically they're talking. And as they're talking, they're also talking to each other. And he says, we can't. And she says, no, we can't ever. And you have to look at the work on these faces. Look at her mouth and eyes and hair. She always does a little bit more on the women than the men, but she does a really good job with the men as well. But they're laughing about it because they know they shouldn't do this, and they know that it's not really ever going to happen. But at the same time, they're also feeling the way that they do about each other. And he says, this is ridiculous. She said, yes, it very much is. And then he says, I love her, I miss her. And she says, she sounds like a good woman, just as Mr. Steve Trevor is a good man. And so what's funny is she immediately goes from almost sleeping with him to saying, if you ever break her heart, then you're going to be in trouble. But I like the way that she does the face there. So then, Catwoman agrees to take Gentleman to see his wife, because he hasn't seen her in 10 years. He goes to see her, and at the same time, Catwoman is only seeing marriage through Gentleman. So she's wondering, is this how a marriage is? And he says, well, to tell you the truth, I don't really know how a marriage is, because this is all I know. And so he sees her, and then they instantly know. They instantly have the connection again. And then as they're talking, then we cut back. But here's something that Tom King had showed. This scene here where she's leaned up to him, hugging him. He said that was a very pivotal part on Joelle Jones's part, because he did not tell her to do that. But she's such a good storyteller that she put this image here to show them together. And so Diana and Batman are back fighting the Horde, which are the demons, and now they've been there for 24 years. Now, they don't age, so don't get worried. They don't age there. Time passes, but they don't age. And so they're getting ready to fight again. Now, at this point, it's very important because Batman falters right here. And then she says, listen, Bruce, you're not alone in this fight. We'll do it together. And then he says, the Horde is everlasting. She says, yes. That's what they say over and over again. So there they are fighting. They're fighting the creatures again. She's even kind of laughing about it. She says, every time, at some point, maybe he would think we understand. Where else do you fly but up and away? They're talking about Superman, how he always says, up, up, and away. And so, Gentleman is still spending time with his wife, while Catwoman is awkwardly lingering in the room. And she says, you know, it's time, we need to go. And he says, I haven't seen her, you know, I need some more time. And she's like, I'm sorry, we have to go. So at this point, now we're at year 14, and I guess it's kind of cutting back and forth, you know, at different times. But this right here, she falters and Batman helps her back up. So this signifies their friendship and how they're holding each other up. And so this is year 31, and they're sitting there talking, and he says he misses his family. He misses his dog. And then she says, I have a kangaroo. And then you get this weird moment where he's like, what? You have a kangaroo? She said, I don't like talking about it. And she says, his name is Jumpa, or her name is Jumpa. And he says, she sounds nice. So then, Gentleman has finally agreed to go back. And I got a very Thor feeling here as he's spinning around his mace. But he cracks open the doorway, and at that very moment, Batman and Wonder Woman are transported back. So there they are. They're back. And so he sees Catwoman. Catwoman's crying. And I like how she does the work on her face. Almost gives her a cat nose. You notice that? So as they're sitting there talking, you know, Catwoman's having to awkwardly sit by, and she says, goodbye, Bruce. It was not fun, but there were moments of fun. He says, yes, goodbye, Diana. And so then she's talking to Catwoman. It says, thank you again for saving us years, perhaps more. And you're a criminal, yes? And she doesn't answer. She goes, or this is what everyone says. You steal things. And she says, you know, and then she says, but I think maybe everyone is wrong. I think maybe you are a hero, and I am happy my friend has found his love in you. That was her way of announcing that it was okay for them to get married. She was giving her blessing, so to speak. Not that they needed it, but she was a friend, so she was offering it. And then they left, and then at that point, they're sitting there talking, and they said, you know, what do we do the next time that he offers, you know, to swap places? And she's like, next time his wife will be with him. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. She's like, she's setting the boundaries. She says, next time I'm going to keep you two separated. And so then she leaves, and then we get this interesting conversation here, because he says, I have to tell you something. A moment. And then she cuts off and says, 37 years, a Wonder Woman. Were you bad? And he says, not bad, but not good enough. And she says, okay. And he says, This is new, but I'm trying. She says, yes, we'll try harder. And it's very organic. That's the end of it, by the way. But it's very organic to a relationship like this, because he told her, you know, he was trying to tell her. And she says, you were alone for 37 years with a Wonder Woman. And he says, I wasn't bad, but I wasn't good enough. You know, and so he's just letting her know what was going on there. And there's some pretty work there with that bridge. I really like that bridge. It almost seems like Central Park, and it may have been where they had, you know, gotten the idea from. But I think that's very interesting in the way that they did this. They showed many different kinds of love stories. They showed the love between Catwoman and Batman, obviously, but they also showed the love between Gentleman and his wife, and also showed the love of a friendship between Batman and Wonder Woman, because that's one reason they were so close here, is because they were such best friends. And obviously they're both attractive people, and they're in the moment, they're fighting, their adrenaline's up, they've got a lot of background with each other. It's only obvious that something like that would almost happen, but through their resolve, they decided not to. And that's what is very important to talk about in these kind of stories. There's not enough stories on TV and in books about people resisting this kind of stuff. You know, it seems like it's very cool to push these kind of things. Like, we were watching TV earlier with my wife, and there was commercials on, and most of the TV shows had relationships where it was like a dark desire or something, or some kind of backhanded relationship. Not too often in books does this stuff right here happen. So it's good that they finally do this kind of stuff. And some people think it's silly to point that out, but I really do think that that's a big deal, that they show that people have morals, because that's what superheroes are about. These people are supposed to be better than us. We're supposed to strive to be like them. And I get tired of these stories where they always make the heroes bad people, because, or make the heroes have faults, because it's okay for them to have faults, but they shouldn't constantly do the wrong thing. These people are supposed to be good, and we're supposed to strive to be like them. I mean, there she is laughing while she's fighting a monster. I mean, we're supposed to strive to be that cool, you know? And also really like the artwork on this page here, if you'll check this out. I mean, it's just really, really good. She is very good at doing expressions on their faces. Look, she's got a different expression here than she does here. And then she's got another expression here. And then if you look at there, they've got different expressions on their faces. It doesn't look like there's any page where they just filled the void. There's too much of that going on in books right now. There's no page here did she say, well, I just need to fill up the space. Look how pretty that looks. This makes Marvel books look like garbage right now. I mean, Joelle Jones is crapping on these Marvel books. Go read All New Wolverine right now and compare it to this book and the artwork in this book. It's uncomparable. But that's pretty much all I got. I've also got some more books I'm going to be talking about. Look at that. That's awesome. I got some more books I'm going to be talking about. There's a book here that I got today on a whim, and I think I want to do. It's called Rose, issue number 1. They just happened to have issue number 1. It was the only one they had, and somebody had recommended it, that it was on their pull list, and I said, hey, I'll check it out. It's got a cool holographic lettering. The cover's pretty awesome. Look at that cat. So I think I'll talk about that later. But alright guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you liked the video. I'm not going to be able to do as many videos as I used to do. My new job requires too much time. And so I'm only going to be able to do like 1 or 2 videos a day. And I hope that's okay. But I'm going to try to make the videos count. So I hope that you guys really appreciate that and the time that I'm taking out to do this for you guys. Because I'm here for y'all. I'm here to suggest good books. So I hope that's important. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, have a great day guys. Underground Geek out.
I wish I knew you when I was young.